I'm here at Boatmasters of Livermore, our Northern California Bass Cat dealer, and I'm sitting here with the 2017 Regional Team Bass Cat Owners Tournament Champion. And we're going to go over today basically his experience, how he got into the events, his recollection of the event here on the Delta, and then his experience back east when he went to Mountain Home and met Rick Pierce and the other Bass Cat Owners Tournament regional winners and competed for the national championship. Greg, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So let's get started and tell me, first of all, how'd you get into a bass cat?
Well, it was back in 2001. There was a dealer up in Auburn, California, I believe, and I had a champion before that, and I liked the performance that I test drove in a bass cat, so I pulled the trigger and got into one.
Great, great. And what model are you running now?
I'm running the Cougar.
You're running the Cougar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they still make the one I have. It's a fish and ski.
Okay.
Where the some of the deck comes out. It's a portable deck, which suits my family and myself really well. I like it. That's why I haven't really purchased another one.
Great, great. Well, those bass cats, they last a long time. So.
They do last a long time.
Yeah. So, so tell me, how did you do you fish a lot of tournaments, first of all?
I used to fish quite a few tournaments. I don't fish as much tournaments, but I do fish a lot.
Right.
Just not as many tournaments anymore.
Right. And how did you get involved with the regional event here on the Delta?
I heard it was a Bass Cat Invitational and thought I'd get into it. I live on the Delta and thought I'd put my hat in the ringer and see what I could do with the other Bass Cat owners.
Awesome. And you fish with your son, right?
Yeah, I fished with my son Warren.
Okay.
And he's a pretty lucky guy. Pretty good stick, but he's got that little luck involved. So if anybody's going to catch a big fish, it's him.
Yeah, better be lucky than good, right?
That's right.
So now tell me, I know after the first day, if I remember correctly, you guys had a pretty sizable lead. You had about a 6.5 pound lead or so after the first day.
Yeah, the first day I think we had 20 pounds and some change.
Okay.
It was a good day for us. We didn't lose any fish. The big ones that bit, we actually landed. And so we did pretty good. We had a couple 6-pounders. And I think we had 20 and some change on the first day.
And the event was held in July, so I mean that 20 and some change in July is not a bad bag. I mean that's a great bag.
Right.
Then now the second day, I know it seemed like you guys struggled a little bit the second day. You didn't have as much weight, but you did hang on for the win.
Yeah, we had 13 and some change the second day. We actually caught fish, but we didn't catch the 2 kickers that we caught on Saturday. On Saturday we had a couple nice firm 6-pounders that really bumped up our weight.
Okay.
But we caught some good fish on Sunday, but it just wasn't what we had on Saturday.
Gotcha.
But I went out and did some pre-fishing, spent a couple weeks before that, 4 or 5 days, which you have to do if you want to compete.
Yep.
I really decided that I wanted to do this and see just what I could do because I wanted to get to Arkansas, see what it was all about.
Yeah.
So I spent some time on the water and we located some fish and it actually paid off.
That's awesome. So tell me, what went through your mind when you guys found out that you had won?
Couldn't believe it. You know, everything just fell into place. And I looked at Warren and said, hey, we're going to Arkansas. And I couldn't, it was a great feeling and didn't really know what to expect, you know.
And so for those that may not know, when you fish a regional event, the winners of each regional get invited back to Mountain Home, Arkansas to compete in a national team championship back there. And the winner of that event gets to go on a trip with Rick Pierce fishing. I think this last time it was a fishing trip to Mexico. So so tell me about that. So you guys won, and now you had to put all the plans together to get back to Mountain Home. How did that all work out?
Well, it was pretty much we were in their hands, and we talked to some people back there at Bass Cat in Arkansas, and they pretty much took care of everything. We were a little anxious, so I was calling them every 2 or 3 days or a week, and they said, "Don't worry about it, just take your time." So it was getting a little late. But they had everything dialed in, and it was smooth sailing. We left here, got on a plane, and went to Dallas. And from Dallas, spent the night in Dallas, and then got into Little Rock. Dallas Hodges picked us up.
Nice.
And we met another team from West Virginia there, and so we coordinated and rented a Suburban and headed up to where we were supposed to be, and got there, and it was 3 days of non-stop fishing and fun. I mean,
That's great.
It was really a great experience. The experience. Hopefully, I'll do it again this year.
Did you get a chance to see the factory at all or anything?
We did. In fact, they provided a boat and a truck for us when we got there. There was quite a few teams that brought their own boats, because a lot of them from Missouri and Arkansas.
Close by.
Yeah, close by. There was one team from Minnesota that brought their own boat, which was kind of true. But these guys were they're professional fishermen, so we were up against some pretty good fishermen there.
That's great. That's great. And so, tell me about the cast of characters there. So, in other words, the other teams that had won and that were there for the same purpose, to fish that championship. Did you get a chance to spend a lot of time with them?
Once we got there, we were able to pick up our boat, pick up the trailer, went to the hotel room, got settled in, and then right away at 5:30 we were headed to a restaurant on the White River. And Rick was there, the owner of Bass Cat, and Dallas, and Jason Brewer, I believe, and then the rest of the cast. And then we had a fabulous dinner right there on the White River. Rick kind of explained exactly, they wouldn't let anything out of the bag until that evening. And then they kind of explained what was going to happen, how we were going to do this. And then we got to kind of meet some of the other guys. And the next day we did a little bit of pre-fishing, which was on a Friday. Okay. And then they gave us 2 lakes we could pre-fish. And we spent the day doing that. And then, actually it was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. And then, or no, Sunday. I can't even remember. All I know is it was like once we started fishing on Monday morning, it was non-stop. And from then we fished North Fork, which was great. Unfortunately, we blanked on the first lake. Okay. And then we went to Lake Titicomo, which was right below that, and that was in Missouri, actually. Okay. And then from there, we traveled back to where we were supposed to be the next night, back to the hotel, and ended up in the Crown Reservoir the next morning. And then that afternoon, we fished North Fork. Okay. And so it was, I mean, if you like to fish, it's nonstop. I mean, and that's what we went to do, and it was a great time. They took excellent care of us. We didn't have to do much of anything as far as room and board and food. And they brought Dallas and Jason brought our lunch to us, the whole crew.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it was a great experience.
That's great. Now, so I know you fished Northern California, most of your life, and all the lakes around Northern California. So how do the lakes back there compare to what you're used to fishing here?
Well, when we got there, we didn't know what to expect, and so we didn't really know what to think. And basically, you can fish in the same way as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Once we scratched our heads and figured it out on the first one, we started doing what we usually do on the northern lakes here. Berryessa, Shasta, a lot of that kind of. And then there was. Crown Lake was like a reservoir, so it was more of like a Berryessa. Okay. And so once we figured that out, we started catching some fish. Oh, good. So, but it took us 1 lake to do that. Gotcha. So we were already behind the 8 ball.
Well, so tell me about that. I mean, so you said you fished your first lake and you didn't catch anything on the first lake, right?
No, we went up and pre-fished that first lake, and we kind of struggled. And then when we got started, the weather kind of was iffy. We were fishing with a jig and with a trailer and letting it sink. And there was a lot of cover, which we're kind of not used to because the water in some of the lakes here fluctuates so much. Yeah. The cover's not underneath. But when you go there, there's all kinds of cover. So once we figured that out and knew what to do, then we started catching some fish.
Okay, so the first day of the tournament, tell me about that. What happened? What did you catch? Where were you going into the next lake, etc.?
Well, the first lake was Table Rock.
Okay.
And we fished Table Rock for 2 hours, or from sunup to 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So you either had to be on them, or you were going to struggle, meet your struggle.
Okay.
We got back, they weighed the fish in right there at the launching ramp, got our cars, drove about a half hour to Lake Teticomo,
okay.
Which was right down underneath Table Rock. I got out there and fished the rest of the day. It was storming, water, and thunder and lightning. It was kind of like a river, then it opened up into a big lake. And we caught some fish there, and then we got back in our truck. It was an hour and a half drive back to the hotel. So we went back from Missouri, got back into Arkansas, got in about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, got up the next morning at 4 o'clock, followed Rick to this somewhere, this Crown Reservoir, which was a great experience. And it was just a little reservoir, and we got him some good fish. I caught one about 4 pounds,
nice.
And it really brought us up. I think we had 4 or 5. The thing that was tough and we didn't get used to was there's different slot limits for different size fish in the lakes.
Okay.
So like when we were at the last lake, which was North Fork, I think it was you had a largemouth had to be 15 inches, a smallmouth could be 12 inches, and so we were a little skeptical on that. It's like we didn't really know. We're used to a 12-inch, no matter if it's a largemouth or a smallmouth or a spot.
Right.
So, but I mean, they treated us like kings. And then at the end, we fished North Fork that evening. And then after that, we had a real nice dinner. They did the award ceremony. I don't know if I said they paid out places, which was totally unexpected.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, guys that like to fish and they have a bass cat. If they don't fish these tournaments, they're crazy, because the experience that you get going back there and the way they take care of you, it's like you're big time.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. And in Bass Cat, you know, they do appreciate their customers. So
it's evident of what they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that, you know, when they put this together, it's almost not surprising. It's not expected, but it's not surprising that they take such good care of the guys that go back.
Yeah, I mean our plane fare. Once we got started, everything was taken care of, which was not expected. But it was greatly appreciated.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. When we left there, they let us. They gave us about 5 minutes into their clothing room.
Oh.
They suited us up with nice jackets. I mean, I look like Bass Cat breath now when I go out fishing here in the Delta, because I'm totally suited in Bass Cat stuff, which is I love it.
Yeah.
And my Bass Cats perform very well. Gone through 2 kids and myself, and my son Tanner and Warren are both fishermen, and that's the only boat we had, so we had a ton of hours on it, and there's a few scratches on the bottom of the boat, but it still goes.
There you go.
It doesn't leak, so it's a good thing.
There you go. That's right. So where did you guys end up at the championship?
We ended up in 7th place.
In 7th place. And how many teams were there?
There was 10 teams.
There was 10 teams there?
10 teams from 10 different states.
Okay.
And the quality of fishermen is top quality and great people. You know, you never get to experience other people in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, and do things like that. They're there from all over Texas, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
And what was the weather like when you got back there? Was it cold? Was it stormy? Was it?
The first day it was pretty nice, and then where we were out pre-fishing about 5 o'clock. It started getting windy, and the wind changed to the south, and the next morning it was like 40 degrees and raining. And then so it was kind of changeable, but it wasn't too bad. It was 40 to 50 degrees, cloud cover, a little wind, but it was perfect fishing conditions as well. You know, I like that.
That's great. That's great. So, would you go back and do it again?
Well, I'm going to fish.
You're going to fish?
May 20th, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of saving everything I got to go out again and pre-fish and see if I can't make it back, but absolutely. I'm trying to get back there.
Good. Well,
there's a lot of good fishermen that I have to compete against. And hopefully I get lucky again.
Well, hopefully you can do it, but if for some reason somebody else does get it, if there's any advice you could give them to go back to this championship, what would it be?
If you're serious about winning the whole enchilada, I would start doing my homework after you win it and find out about those lakes back there and get maps and do your homework. And, you know, I'm sure there's some guys that have connections back there that fish different stuff, and they'll give you a little heads up on what's going on. Watch the weather. You know, anybody that fishes, you gotta watch the weather patterns, what it's doing back there to be able to compete, so you know what to do. And bring as much as you can. Yes, you know, and they ran it like it was a true tournament. You know, there's no fudging, no nothing. I mean, it was a deal. Rick was there most of the time too. I think he had to go somewhere. He had to go to Florida or something the last day, but he was there the whole time and really showed us a great time. Yeah.
Well, that Rick, he's one of the hardest working men I know. He's on go all the time. So. But that's great. That's really great. So logistics-wise, I mean, for the guys that haven't experienced it, like you said, Bass Cat pretty much took care of you. They took care of all that stuff. You know, I want to reiterate for the people that want to compete in this but aren't sure about getting back there that it's a fairly easy process because Bass Cat helps take care of most of that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, they. You know, I can't remember her name, but when we were setting this up, she wanted to know if we wanted to drive back and take our boat. Well, it was a little too far for us, and my son works, and we didn't really have that much time to get back there. And so they provided everything for us. It was basically easy. We got our plane tickets and everything, and we did a little jumping from plane to plane, but that's pretty normal when you're traveling across the states. We got back to Little Rock, and Dallas was there to pick us up, and from then on, everything was just easy. The whole process was pretty easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like I say, it was a great experience.
Yeah. So. In terms of timing, so I guess really the only thing that you had to worry about was getting your time off work and time away, scheduling your time away from the family and so forth. I mean
It's 5 days basically.
That's it. It's 5 days. Okay.
Yeah. It was the day to travel. Then Sunday was it was the day that we left on Saturday morning. We got there Sunday afternoon about 4 o'clock. By the time we left Oakland, we went out to Sacramento. Left Sacramento.
Okay.
We flew to Dallas, or flew to Phoenix, from Phoenix to Dallas. Then we spent the night in Dallas. And then from Dallas we went to Little Rock. That was Sunday morning. And then Dallas Hodges picked us up Sunday morning. We got in there Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. And from then on, it was go. It was go. You ate dinner, it told you what was going on. You pre-fished on it, you know.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It was great.
And what kind of boat did they put you in when you got there?
I was in Dallas's boat. Had a Honda engine on it.
Okay.
It was a.
Was that a Puma?
I think it was a Puma. Fully loaded. Had the jack plate, the hydraulic jack plate. It was a great boat. It was a pretty funny experience. Me and Warren first got there that day of pre-fish. We launched the boat, right? And I always keep my plug in. So I should figure out and check for the plug. Nah, the plug's in it, right? We got to our first spot, and all of a sudden I look down in this little hole there, and I go, there's water in there. So went back to the ramp, pulled it out. Sure enough, they have the metal, which is really nice.
The metal drain plug?
Yeah, the metal drain plugs. Drained it, put it back in, we were off. And check your plug all the time.
There you go. So it sounds like it was a pretty memorable trip, which is great. But if there was one thing that stood out above all else, what would it be?
Just the way I think it was the way they took care of us and the way they treated us. You know, it was. It's nice to see somebody give back. Customers give back like that. You wouldn't think anybody would ever do that, but especially in today's world. But it was a great experience, and the way they gave back to the people that purchased the boats was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything else you want to say or share?
Well, just for the guys that are going to be fishing on May 20th, good luck. You know, it's don't pass it up if you win, because for me it was an experience of a lifetime. It was great.
That's great. That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
If I win this year, I think I'm going to take another week though and go duck hunting.
While I'm
back there.
That's a great idea. Right in the middle of the season, right? Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Straight from the winner of the 2017 West Coast Bass Cat Owners event. May 20th this year, out of Russo's Marina on the California Delta. Come join us. It's a one-day event this year. And again, if you win, you're going back to Mountain Home, Arkansas to compete with a bunch of other regional winners to see if you can take home the prize. So we hope to see you out there. Once again, May 20th. You can register the morning of the event out of Russo's Marina on the California Delta.